Alright, so we're here in LA, which is where I've been for work for the past week or so. Always like coming to LA. It's a nice spot. Always lots to see and do. But the highlight of this trip has been the rental car they wound up with, which is a Ford Mustang GT, badged as a Shelby GT-H. This is, I guess, just effectively a trim package that Shelby did for the Hertz rental company. As far as I can tell, the car is really nothing more than an S550 GT with an exhaust. It has all the regular kind of GT stuff on it, but it also has kind of an absurd amount of gaudy badging and kind of weird trim choices and everything. So it's got the Shelby GT-H embroidery in the headrest, in the Hertz color and in the Hertz font. It's down here on the floor mats as well. The puddle lights are Shelby GT-H. The center caps are Hertz. And on the back here, we've got the Shelby piece there with 60. They're always celebrating some sort of anniversary. The 60th anniversary Shelby American, another Hertz logo. And around the other side, the puddle lights and the trim is repeated. And we've got this badge up here on the dash, just in case you forgot. I don't know how you could. And we're also going to, let me pop the hood real quick and show you some of the stuff. And under the hood looks like pretty much every other S550 GT, with the exception of all of the caps are kind of this fake billet plastic. Actually, that one might be metal. I don't know. With the Hertz company logo on there. Of course, shockingly, the cross brace only has GT, not Shelby or Hertz. Even did the brake fluid reservoir there. Something tells me that somebody is going to pay big money for these stupid caps on eBay in a few years' time. But yeah, Shelby and Hertz have kind of a long-standing relationship. Shelby has done a number of high-performance Mustangs for Hertz over the years. It's like the Rent-A-Racer programs. They've done the 350s and the 500s as well. I think in certain locations you can still you can rent today a GT500 from Shelby. Ooh, sick 911. Woo. But yeah, it's been a really fun car to drive. It had 12 miles on it when I picked it up. It now has almost 600. I've had to do a fair bit of driving. I went from LAX to Palmdale to Lancaster to, oh my gosh, where do we go? Victorville, and then several other cities kind of in the Antelope Valley area. Did a fair bit of driving. Spent some time on Angeles Crest and some other fun roads with it. And it handles and drives just like a regular GT does. Oh, there's some more badging that I missed. The Shelby exhaust there. I've never, I'm a manual elitist jerk. I've never really cared for automatics in general. But the 10-speed in this car is very good. It shifts really quick. It'll blip downshifts. It's always, not always, probably 90% of the time, it's in the gear that I would want it to be in as you're going down the road. And when you put it in manual shift mode, it there is some delay, but it's a very, very short delay. It shifts within a few dozen milliseconds is what it feels like. But yeah, kind of an interesting car. I don't think it makes any extra power over what a regular GT does. But yeah, definitely, beats driving a Versa or a Nissan Juke or something like that. So let me close the hood and we'll spin around it a little more. And before I go, I did realize I forgot some badging here. The sill plates and the doors are illuminated Shelby GT-H as well. I believe that's everything. The cluster doesn't do anything different when you turn it on or anything like that. But yeah, a lot of specialty badging on this car. Not a whole lot in the way of performance modifications. But, 450 crank, you figure that's probably, I don't know, very high threes, very low fours at the tire. Still nothing to sneeze at. It's a very fun car, and the transmission being as good as it is, if I was going to buy an S550, I would have to think long and hard about whether I chose the automatic or the manual.